Okay, so this is how I make toothpaste, the natural toothpaste that's mineral rich, and it will help to actually remineralize your teeth because it has all of the minerals from these herbs like nettles and dandelion and stevia powder, green powder, which is also good for your teeth, and some clay powder, green clay. Coconut oil is really good antibacterial, and tea tree and peppermint, and sometimes I like to use oregano oil. And so the first thing I do is I melt the coconut oil, which right now it's not melted. I'm just going to go stick it on my wood stove and let it melt a little bit. But you can put it on a double burner or just put it near someplace warm and it'll melt. It just makes it a lot easier to mix. The other thing you could do is you could stick it in your blender and just blend everything up that way. So I'm going to go melt this, and then I'll come back and I'll start mixing everything else in. So I have it on my wood stove just to melt it, and I'll leave it on there for just a minute maybe, and then I'll take it off and just put it real close to it, and it will help it to melt pretty quickly. And once that melts, I'll add everything in, and I'll show you how I do it. The other thing is when you do take it off, if on any hot surface, just make sure that you use some kind of glove or oven mitt or something, because it will get hot, the container. So it's getting melted, so you can see once it starts melting, you can probably take it off of the double boiler or the stove or whatever you put it on, and just mix it up, and it'll melt on its own as long as it's not real cold. So I'm going to take this off of here now, and then I'll start mixing it. So it's about halfway melted. There's a big chunk there. And I just have this wood fork, and I'm just mixing it and breaking it up, helping it out a little bit. And then I'll start adding everything in. So, got everything all melted, nice and creamy, and I'm going to go take my nettles and grind it up in my coffee grinder, and then I'm going to start adding everything in. So I got my nettles all ground up. I'm going to start adding everything in. Get this camera a little better here, better angle. Should be good. Okay. And what I do is I just start adding stuff. I have my tea tree, and let's see, use this hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be good. The kids will be using this as well. And if I had oregano oil, I would like to use that, but right now I don't. So now I have the peppermint. And let's see how many drops of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. And you can usually smell it. It smells like peppermint, so that's good. Another thing that I like to put, which actually I'm going to go get, is neem oil. And you can also use clove oil. But I don't like to use too much of those things because my kids won't use it then. So I'm going to go get those. And one other thing that I like to use, which is neem powder, which is really good for antibacterial. It helps to keep your gums healthy. Okay, so we got some clove oil, and I'll put a little bit of clove oil in. Just a little. little, because my kids, it's not for your kid. You might want to put a little more. It's another good antibacterial. So now I have some neem powder that I got from the health food store. And I'm going to add some of that. I'm just going to get a spoon. A nice spoonful of that in there. And start mixing it. I just kind of just add until it looks like a good amount. And then I smell, because it smells good. I think that was probably enough of that. I might put a tiny bit more of the neem powder. Okay, so I got my tea tree, my peppermint, my clove, my neem powder. And now I'm going to add, actually the next thing I'm going to add is some stevia, which is, I buy this on Amazon, I think. It's a green powder, and this is like the purest form of stevia that you can get. And stevia is also good for your teeth. It's high in minerals, and it helps to protect your teeth. So I like to just smell it, and sometimes I'll even give it a taste to see if it's sweet enough, which it's not. So, oh, see, I think I put too much neem, so it's going to be really, really bitter. So watch the neem powder. You don't want to put too much of that, because it's pretty bitter. So my kids probably won't be using this one. So if your kids are going to have it, I would definitely go less on the neem. And let's see. Oh yeah, now it's nice and sweet. Yeah, so I would just go with like a half a teaspoon of neem to, what is this, a quarter cup of coconut oil that I'm using here. So you don't want to use any more than a half a teaspoon or even a quarter if your kids are going to be using it. And it tastes like there's peppermint in it, but I think it could use more. So I'm going to put some more peppermint. Alright. Put like 5 more drops in there. Next thing I'm going to put is my clay powder, which helps to draw toxins out of things. So it's high in minerals, so it'll help to draw. This is a bentonite clay, or European clay, and I just got that from my health food store. And this is a pretty good brand now, pretty reasonable price. A little more of that. Mix it up, and this will harden. It's not going to be like a toothpaste. You're going to have to like scrape it out like with a little spoon or something and apply it to your toothbrush. But so that looks pretty good. And now I'll add my dandelion, ground up dandelion. Let's see, a nice spoonful of that, and then my ground up nettles, which is really helps to act a little bit like it's not really abrasive, but it does help a little bit in that sense to clean your teeth, and while also helping to remineralize your teeth because it's very high in minerals. And that's it. That's your toothpaste. And just put it in whatever container you want to store it in. I mean, this is actually 2 batches. And I'm going to pour it into a little container and then have one to give to my friend. And let it get cold. And, I mean, it would be better if it stayed at this consistency, but unless it's like really warm where you live, it usually gets hard. Not really hard, but... And definitely lay off of the neem powder as much as you can if you're making this for little kids, or if you don't like a bitter taste. Like, I don't mind bitter taste, but if this was for my kids, they wouldn't use it. So omit the neem powder if you're using it for kids, or just put a very, very small amount. The nettles and the stevia and the dandelion and the clay, all those things are really good
and they're still going to get a lot of benefit without that neem. So I hope you try this, and hope it works for you. Let me know, please, if it does, and if you like the recipe. Thanks. Bye. The other thing I wanted to say is that you don't have to use all of these ingredients. You can just use tea tree and coconut oil and stevia and dandelion, or nettles, or just clay, and so it's still going to be beneficial if you can only find some of the ingredients. But the main thing is that you want to have the coconut oil and some kind of essential oil in there for antibacterial, like tea tree, and then like the peppermint, which is really good for flavor. And it's also good for keeping your mouth clean and healthy. And then you'll need like a sweetener like stevia, or xylitol even would work. So you can, xylitol is also good for your teeth. So that's a good sweetener. Yeah, so just wanted to let you know that, because you know, I want everyone to be able to make their own toothpaste and not think that they have to use all of the ingredients that I've used. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed. Good luck. Bye.